Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Karthik Gopal, the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. A warm welcome to you all to the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. Onto this very special event we have with our guests who are not just guests, who are special guests to us, who are here for the panel discussion and insights about their perspectives on this auspicious day that is International Women's Day. So there are some ground rules which have to be followed before we start the meetings. Your mobile should be kept silent during the meeting till the end, and we request everybody to mute yourself until you're asked to unmute. And the meeting will go for 2 hours, and everybody and all of the Toastmasters and guests are requested to be there in the meeting till 2 hours. And if any questions have to be raised, you can just raise your hands through the Zoom meeting, through the reactions. And apart from that, we warmly welcome you for this event, which will start in just few minutes. And right now, let's start the meeting by calling upon our presiding officer, Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel. So, Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel is a data scientist, is a data engineer, and as well, she is part of her startup that is Practive. So, I warmly welcome Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel to take up the stage and start the event.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Karthik. Can we have a round of applause for our stand-up comedian, in-house stand-up comedian who was put on spot without any prior notice, and we could see him without his jokes today. But it was a job well done. Thank you so much once again. Welcome you all to the meeting number 219 of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. Today is a special edition we have. We are celebrating Women's Day, International Women's Day, with the theme Unseen Labor. Well, how many of you have felt that adulting is something that you don't want to be into? It's a phase that doesn't resonate much with you anymore. Anyone? Online? No one? Okay, it's only me. Well, what I felt after growing up, well, I'm still growing up, but after a certain point in time, I realized that my early childhood days were the times when I used to wake up. I used to get the almonds soaked almonds for the entire night for breakfast. Before I actually got the breakfast, I will get the detox water. I'll get everything ready. And in fact, for that matter, I'll get a wake-up call from my mom saying, Nancy, it's time you wake up, without any alarms. After going out of home, staying alone for the last 10 to 15 years, I realized that this is something I miss. This is something that was a bliss. This is something that I would never want to miss anymore. That was adulting for me. Until I started connecting with all the women groups like Society of Women Engineers or Grace Hopper Group and many other women's groups which are there, I realized this is the unseen labor. If I have to be at her place, I will get to do all of these things without being recognized ever again in my life. That's something which is so important in our lives, which makes our lives easier, but it still stays unrecognized without a say. That's the unseen labor that we are going to talk about, not just with respect to women, but many other aspects we see. So that's something we will be covering today in the keynote session, in the panel discussion, in the TMOD session. I'll come to our Toastmaster of the Day later. Before that, since I've told you what today's meeting is all about, I would like to also mention what Toastmasters is all about. Toastmasters is a place where you come forward, you try to overcome your glossophobia, you get a stage like this and some lovely audience who's there to encourage you. You fall, you get back up, you fall again, you get back up again with the feedback, the evaluation, the mentoring support that you receive here at the Toastmasters place. So it's a 100-year-old organization which has been going on with the same structure, ensuring that this is a place where speakers and leaders are made. Well, having said that, we just had our contest, international speech contest at the club level for all 3 clubs put together last week. So I would like to recognize all the winners of the club. I see a few of the winners sitting here. Can we get started with the recognition part? May I request, Karthik, can you help me with the trophies? I'll also need the names. Okay. Sanjana. Gabbys, we are starting. All right, we'll start with the Gabbys Toastmasters Club first. For the 3rd place winner, we have Sanjay Kumar Monoyat with his lovely wife. Can we have your wife on the stage as well? Gauri, can you help with the photos? Please put your hands together for our 3rd place winner for International Speech Contest at the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. Congratulations, Sanjay. This is for you. Congratulations. The 2nd place winner for the Gabbys Toastmasters Club, we'll skip that part for now. That's yours truly.
No, take it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
He took it back. The 1st place winner, please put your hands together. The winner and the 1st place runner-up is going to go to the next level, to area level. Our 1st place winner is Distinguished Toastmaster Sourav Dutta. Congratulations, Sourav. Next, we'll start with the Gabbys Online Toastmasters Club. For the Gabbys Online Toastmasters Club, the 3rd place winner is
Myself.
Karthik Venugopal.
He's there at the right time.
Our 2nd place winner is walking right up to the stage for her trophy. The Gabbys Online Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Samita Kar. Congratulations, Samita. Congratulations. Our 1st place winner, once again, can we have Distinguished Toastmaster Sourav Dutta of the Gabbys Online Toastmasters Club. Since he cannot go to area level from 2 different clubs, we have Toastmaster Samita representing the Gabbys Online Toastmasters Club at area level, which is happening tomorrow. Next, we'll start with the Gabbys International Toastmasters Club. For the Gabbys International Toastmasters Club, we have somebody from Lucknow, all the way from Lucknow at 3rd place. Toastmaster Sunil Gupta. Sunil, if you can hear us, lot of claps for you. Congratulations, Toastmaster Sunil. Next up on stage is 2nd place winner. All right, Chitrakshi is not here. Our 2nd place winner is Toastmaster Chitrakshi Vij. She's not here with us in the room. Somewhere she's in the traffic, I suppose. Congratulations to you, Chitrakshi. And 1st place winner, taking pictures for all of us for the Gabbys International Toastmasters Club is Toastmaster Gauri Aggarwal. Congratulations, Gauri. So Gauri and Chitrakshi are going to represent our club, the Gabbys International Toastmasters Club, to the next level, which is the area level. Now, you would have seen so many trophies. It's just the Gabbys is a family of 3 clubs. We started with 23 members at one point in time. Now we are a family of 3 clubs with almost 90 members in our family. So that's where we had 3 contests and 6 winners, 5 winners representing our clubs at various levels. So congratulations to all the winners and all the best for tomorrow's contest, which is happening at Trellix, EGL. Next, I would like to pass on the baton to our Toastmaster of the day, someone who's going to walk us through the entire meeting, how it's going to go, how it's going to flow, who's going to introduce various speakers who are going to take up stage today. Our Toastmaster of the day today is someone who's flying all the way from Gurgaon here, someone who's a chartered accountant by profession, but she is venturing more into her own brand, rebrand.self. She is venturing into image consulting and soft skills training, where she is working with HNIs and leadership as leaders, as a coach and a trainer for them. Please put your hands together for our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Gauri Aggarwal. Over to you.
A very good morning to everyone present here. Thank you for being here on a Saturday morning. But can we have a bigger round of applause for all those who are behind the scenes, arranging this meeting, arranging the stage, the sound engineers who make sure that the hybrid meeting goes on very, very smoothly. Let's dive in straight to the topic, which is unseen labor. It is a topic, it is something which is omnipresent, yet very little spoken about. How many of you have experienced that magically your food is prepared, or maybe you prepare the food for your family, or your desk is suddenly spotlessly clean, or your socks are folded? Can I have a raise of hands? All of us. And those who have not experienced it, then we are on the other side and we make sure that we do it for our families. In the world of AI, all of us experience marketing in some way or the other. Now, for YouTubers, we subscribe to their channels and we are unseen labor for them because we are marketing for them. Now, true to my role, I'm going to take this opportunity and ask you all to subscribe to the Gabbys Toastmasters on YouTube and like and share this video once it's uploaded on our YouTube channel. Okay, now, somewhere in the audience, can I hear from you that what is the unseen labor in your life? And I'm going to ask Toastmaster Sanjay first, because this is his chance to earn some brownie points. His better half is right here. So, are you the unseen labor? Ma'am, why don't you come up, please? That is Sushma Jain. She is Toastmaster Sanjay's wife, and over to her. Can you just repeat the question? So what is that experience of unseen labor in your life? Something that you would want to appreciate, something we don't do on a daily basis.
Good morning, everyone. Unseen labor. Actually, it is with every individual. Maybe in some way or the other, he does some unseen labor for the other person. As a family, like it's the part of the work what women does is being seen by the other persons. But what the other person, men or kids, they do it in their own way. That is the unseen labor by them, which helps the woman to take care of the family as well as her profession, if she is a career person, and then like to be a family as a whole and enjoy day-to-day activities. So I feel unseen labor is done by everyone, every individual. Thank you.
Thank you. Toastmaster Sanjay, that was nicely dropped. You had the chance to appreciate your unseen labor. Anyways, the second person I would like to speak to is Toastmaster Samita, who's flown all the way from Calcutta. Ma'am, why don't you come on stage?
Hi, good morning, everyone. Unseen labor, the very fact when we hear of this, first we feel someone who does the work very quietly and we don't see them. Actually, is it so? we always feel, let it be the people around us, male or female, doesn't matter. Whenever they are caregivers, whenever it is a mother who is working, we never see it, but we feel it. In today's world, we always associate labor with money. How much do you earn? What is your pay packet? So a mother never earns anything, except that sleepless night when the child is young, and a rebel phase when the child is old. And, they have to wait maybe 30 years, and when they have their own kids to come back and say, wow, you did an amazing job. It's too long a time, and 1 or 2 lines of appreciation, not more than that. That is that unseen labor. As a mother, I feel. As individuals, we look around people, especially the caregivers. There are elderly at home where someone is sacrificing their work and they are doing that unseen labor. I have seen my brother sacrificing his work and staying with my mom for 3 long years. Every time she was on dialysis, we were working, but he was giving that time. And I know how much it meant, not in terms of money, but in terms of, we can say, karma being earned, or the very goodwill of the person who is sick, who needs someone to be there with him. So that is all the unseen labor that I have seen and I have met with. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Gauri.
Thank you, ma'am. And I'm guilty, of course. Mothers, homemakers, caretakers, really unseen labor, and we need to appreciate them a little more in our life. Toastmaster Isha, I know that you're here with your mother. Why don't you come up on stage? Sure, please. Ma'am, why don't you come on stage? Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. I wasn't really expecting anything to be told by me, but yes, the topic of what is coming up is really interesting, because correctly, we do not always expect a kind of reward at the end of the labor we put in. So this labor goes unaccounted for, but yes, all of us are doing it. I mean, even if you consider it as your duty, supposing the bus conductor doesn't bring the bus, that is also a way to look at it. If the mom is not ready with the stuff in the morning, that is also something which people realize then, but they don't give due respect otherwise. So I feel this is something which the society will slowly realize, and we are all very concerned about it at the moment as ladies, particularly on this day. Right? Thank you.
Thank you. And so true. So I do see everyone in the room agreeing on the topic of unseen labor. Now we have some guests here, and I would request our president of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club, DTM Sourav Dutta, to facilitate the guests and take the meeting forward.
Thank you so much, Gauri. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone online. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you unmute yourself and check if your mic is working?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Mic is working. Thank you. And our speakers are working. So can we have a good morning one more time? Can we have some energy? This is not even a labor. This is a meeting, right?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Thank you. We have got some wonderful guests with us today, and we will have a more proper introduction of all of them when we call them for that those particular sections. So we have got a few guests today with us who have joined us for a panel discussion. Hello. And we have got a keynote speaker who's also a distinguished guest. So we are going to felicitate them. And before we felicitate them, I would want to play a small video. So these gifts that we are providing to them, these are sponsored by a hospital, which is a free charitable hospital. And they have requested us to play this video for all of us to know more about this hospital, because we believe, and I believe all of us believe, that healthcare is not and should not, and probably, hopefully, would not be a luxury. It is a necessity and it's a right. No one should die of an ailment that can be cured in 2025. And this hospital is on a mission to do that, providing healthcare free of cost to everyone who walks in through the door. No BPL card required, no entitlements required. You just have to walk in there. So we are going to play that video, and these are the people who have sponsored the gift that we have for our guests today. So Karthik, can you please help me with this? Issues?
Meets medical excellence.
I think you're not sharing the audio. Let me handle this. You will have audio. No, you have to share for the full screen. Yeah. Go to share screen. Go to share screen. No, ये नहीं. No, you don't need to put it here. You need to put it here. You have to click this. Screen. One second. Let's one of us do it. Okay. Share. Oh. Remove all that and just play that. Now your screen is on share. It here. Yeah, but we are bringing it here. It's not visible here. Pause it. Let it pause it. Not visible. Offline not visible.
Welcome to Sri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research. From the moment you arrive.
Still not there online. What is the issue of notification? Are we not sharing the screen on? Share. Then share. I'll do it. See, I tried downloading the one, but it's not getting downloaded. The video. I'll play it from my system. Karthik, I'll play from my system.
Welcome to Shri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research, where compassionate care meets medical excellence. We provide world-class healthcare with a personal touch, ensuring that every patient feels seen, heard, and cared for. From the moment you arrive, our dedicated team ensures you and your loved ones receive the best of care and support. When you need care, you need more than just a doctor. You need someone who listens, understands, and cares. Here, our doctors go above and beyond, not just to treat, but to support you through your healing journey. From your first visit to the big day, our experienced and caring team provides the support and expertise you need, ensuring your comfort and peace of mind. We ensure your baby arrives into the world with the best care possible. From the first breath to the first steps and beyond, we are here for every milestone. We treat your loved ones like family, ensuring they feel safe, loved, and cared for. When time is of the essence and every second counts, you need a hospital that is well prepared to serve you. Our expert emergency team is here for you 24/7, who can provide immediate, life-saving medical attention. From emergency care to recovery, we offer total health care solutions, all under one roof. Our hospital is equipped with the latest technology, creating a healing environment that prioritizes your comfort, safety, and recovery. We believe in more than just healing. We believe in caring for you every step of the way. Shri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research, where your health is our priority and your well-being is our mission.
Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much, Karthik and Nancy. There's a bit of a glitch, but it's okay. We can work with that. Karthik, there's one more video after this, so just be ready with that. That has to be played from Canva. So we are now going to invite on stage our guests. So Gauri, can you help me with those gifts? The gifts. Yeah. So let me first welcome SHREYA. SHREYA is a principal architect with the Soffit. She is leading a business. She's an entrepreneur, and she does a lot of commercial interiors for a lot of corporates. So we'll have a more elaborate introduction of her when we are going to invite her for the panel discussion. But here we've got a small gift for you.
So much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next we have, okay, SHREYA, one picture. Thank you, Nancy. Next we have KAVYA CHRISTOPHER. So KAVYA is the editor of South India for all Times of India Metro supplements. So all the Bangalore Times, Chennai Times, Hyderabad Times, all of this goes out with her blessings. And we are happy that she has decided to bless us today with her presence. So thank you, KAVYA, for coming. Thank you. Thank you. And finally, our chief guest for today, someone that we have been eagerly waiting for, and someone we are going to eagerly wait for to hear from him because he's also our keynote speaker. Okay, before that, we have got one more panelist who's on the way, and she will be here anytime soon. So, our chief guest for today and someone who's going to give the keynote speech today, Mr. DEVAJYOTI ROY, IPS. So, as you can see, Dev has a bit of an issue in terms of walking because he's not keeping well, but he still decided to come here today. Thank you so much, Dev. Thank you so much. So, Dev is the Additional Director General of Police, Karnataka State Police, and he has a lot of things to talk about in terms of his achievements, in terms of his credentials. But I will let our Toastmaster of the day do those honors when she invites him on stage as the keynote speaker. And his achievements go much beyond his police duties, and a very interesting person that you'll get to know more in a short while. So that's our guest for today. We, as I said, there's one more guest, which is SHREYA KRISHNAN. SHREYA KRISHNAN is the Managing Director of AnitaB Org India. So as soon as SHREYA is here, we're going to start with the panel discussion. Till such time, I will hand over to the TMOD to take the session forward.
Okay, let's switch it up now. I had asked you that who are the unseen labor that you want to recognize in your life or that you see around. How many of you have been the unseen labor? Any instances? Anyone from the online audience?
Hello, I would like to share one example. I'm sorry, I'll not be able to come on the camera because I'm not presentable for today. So excuse me for that.
Sorry, 1 second. Who's speaking?
This is Deepa.
Okay, yeah. Deepa, please go ahead.
So the unseen labor from my personal experience have been two people. One is my mother, who has sacrificed her entire life. Single-handedly, she bought and raised 3 children, though she had an opportunity to leave us to marry somebody else at a very young age without having any sort of support. But she chose to live, she chose to bring us up and sacrifice her entire life, to give us education. And the second personality who has been the hero of my life is my husband, who apart from my mother has always provided me that support, care, and the requirement of having to stand next to me is my husband. So these are the two people who are the main unsung heroes of my life.
Thank you for sharing that, Deepa. Can we have a round of applause? So mothers, of course, most definitely, and it goes without saying, they do it out of love, but extremely underappreciated. I'm guilty myself. Anybody else who wants to share? Anyone from the audience present here? Rahul, would you like to take a shot?
For me, the unseen labor would be of my mom. My mom was a teacher, and she not only taught a lot of students, she also taught me the values of life. Apart from that, my dad would come second for me because he taught me courage, braveness. Since I'm the only child, he made sure that I can stand on my own legs and be dependent on no one but myself. To me, it would be both my mom and dad, who's the unseen labor that goes behind what I am right now today. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, Toastmaster Rahul. Okay, let me share with you one example where I felt that I was the unseen labor. I think I'm the IT department. I've been the IT department for my grandparents, helping them share the location on WhatsApp and sending across this mail and that mail and the Wi-Fi not working and now the TV not working, etc., etc. So that's where I feel that I am unseen labor, but they appreciate me more than my due. Anybody else? Okay, we have Toastmaster Nirmita with us.
Yeah, hi. So we talk about our parents, of course, mom, dad. Now Toastmaster Deepa has spoken about husband, but at the same time, it's not about unseen labor, but out of love and all our grandparents, aunts, they have all the time been with us, has supported our parents as well when it's required. So I've seen my grandparents, my grandmom especially, coming to rescue a lot of times when it was required. So yeah, I would say my grandmom as one of them. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Can we have a round of applause for Toastmaster Nirmita? I also remember the coffee boy at the workplace who very silently refills the coffee machine and doesn't even expect an appreciation and of course is never given one. Anyone from the online audience? Toastmaster Sunil, would you like to take a shot?
Yes. We are
Please go
talking
ahead.
about, yeah. We are talking about unseen labor. Is it really unseen? No work, nothing is unseen. At least we need to realize, we need to appreciate, we need to recognize. Behind the scene, lot of works are required. And today, this event is going on. So behind the steps, lots of effort have been done. Similarly, in our house, our wives, our mother, father, grandparents, they always do some work for you. And sometimes we ignore them, or we so that we don't know or we don't realize. But really, when you are success, there are a lot of people behind you who make you success. So that's, thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil. Can we have a big round of applause for him? Now, there's been an unseen labor for me in Toastmasters, and that is the person I'm going to introduce next. He's also a panel moderator. He's an unseen labor because whenever I've been away or vanished from Toastmasters, I've just gotten that one call, hey, where are you? There's no hi, there's no hello, it's just cut business. He is someone who believes in stoicism. Now, he might not be able to smile, but he does make up for it with his witty banter. Let's talk some serious business. He is Distinguished Toastmaster Sourav Dutta, who's completed all 11 pathways in Toastmasters. For the benefit of guests, pathways is like the entire curriculum of Toastmasters. And most Toastmasters don't complete it in their lifetime, but he's done it in about 3 to 4 years. He's also played leadership roles at the area level, at the district level, division level, and also outside Toastmasters with Fortune 500 companies. Over to DTM Sourav Dutta.
Thank you so much. Before I invite the panel members, there's one more guest I said that who's on the way and who's here with us now. And we need to do a quick felicitation of her as well. So, SHREYA, please, if you can see. bag, this one, Nancy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Sourav, I'm very happy to.
Thank you. Okay, so let me first introduce the first guest, which is SHREYA H. SHREYA is the principal architect with the Soffit. Soffit is a commercial interiors company. SHREYA has got a very distinguished career in interior decoration. She has worked with some of the leading brands, which is like Bhartiya City, RMC Corporation, and so on. So almost 2 decades in this particular field. That's the first panelist for today, which is SHREYA. SHREYA, please come on stage. Thank you. The next panelist for today is KAVYA CHRISTOPHER. KAVYA is the editor, South India, for Times of India Group. She manages all the supplements that you see, all the metro supplements, which means, all the, Chennai Times, the Bangalore Times, the Hyderabad Times, and all of those that you see. So as I said, that all goes out with her blessings. And yet again, we are extremely fortunate to have her with us today. Thank you so much, KAVYA. The third panelist, another distinguished achiever, which is SHREYA KRISHNAN. SHREYA KRISHNAN is the managing director of AnitaB Org India. Now, what is AnitaB Org? So AnitaB Org basically works for women and non-binary to give them a platform. And this platform is something that a lot of people, I have been in the tech field for almost 2 decades. And there's one conference, if I would talk to, give me 30 seconds, please have a seat. Let me talk about your conference, right? I mean, that's a really nice place. So I have been in various leadership roles in various tech companies, and a lot of women techies used to work with me. There's one conference, if I say that I'm going to send you there, the eyes would light up. Any guesses here except for Nancy? It happens in Bangalore. It's Grace Hopper. So Grace Hopper is a conference for women techies. It's one of the largest conference for women techies, women and non-binary in India, probably across the world. Close to 10,000 women engineers and techies, they join for this conference. It's a fabulous 2 to 3 days event. And our next panelist is the person who's behind all of this, getting it, and we have actually seen her in action. It's incredible. You have to just see it to believe it. So please welcome SHREYA KRISHNAN, our third panelist for today. Thank you so much. Okay, so we are going to now start with the panel discussion for today. And is this mic working? Okay, so the way we'll do is we'll start with the questions. And before that, I will just set a little bit of a context that why did we keep this theme? And then we'll have the questions. So I have one common question for all the panelists to start with and one common question to end with. And then some questions which are more relevant to their particular work profile. And we will have the Q&A towards the later part of the session. So the first 30 minutes will be a panel discussion, and the last 15 minutes, audience members can ask questions to the panel members. We can ask them, directly, or you can put the questions on chat, and we can take it from there. Whatever works for you. Okay, so why this topic? I think that's a no-brainer. I think this is a classical debate. But I'll tell you where I am coming from. I come from a family which is very different. My mom was in the Indian Army, so she used to work for the agencies. So not even like she was not even fighting. So I still don't know which department she used to work for. She never told us. She was never supposed to tell us. But weird things used to happen at our house. There would be a robbery where they would steal nothing. There would be some kind of a mini blast, mini explosion in the middle of the night. So that gave us indication that we are not being raised by a normal mom, right? So with this abnormal mom, we also had an abnormal dad. while my mom would be busy doing God knows what. But we knew that she is in Kashmir, she is in Bolangir, some national infested area, some terrorist infested area. My dad would be cooking food for us, washing clothes, uh, getting us ready for school, sending us to school. He would be, doing all that we expect our moms to do. And he has been ridiculed a lot. My dad was always the butt of all jokes in all family gatherings because, people, different kind of jokes, where people would put him down because he washes clothes and he washes the dishes. Because my mom was not there, right? No one was there to help him. We could whatever we could. So that's where my perspective started with. And I always felt that, and by the way, my dad actually took an early retirement, 10 years of his career. He was an engineer, but he took an early retirement because he wanted to stay at home and so that he can support my mom. My mom was earning more than my dad. So they took a decision that my mom would continue to work. And also more importantly, mom said that I know I'm working on something, I can't leave the job today. But till today, when I look at my dad, I always feel that he felt that he's not valued enough because he has been that not really an achiever. So if you ask me, what was my dad, MD of a company, an entrepreneur, a colonel? No, nothing. He was just a dad and a great dad at that. So that's all I can talk about. And that's where, I felt that this could be a topic which is relevant for all of us and a lot of women homemakers face this problem. So that's my perspective. I would want to ask all of you as a woman, as a professional, and more importantly, even as a family member, you also have seen your mom and your dad. So what's your perspective? You think that this is something that's relevant or is it something like we're hyping up too much? So all of you can just answer this question. So we'll start with you, SHREYA.
So I think it is something that's very important to be addressed. Changing a diaper has no gender. Switching on a washing machine has no gender. Doing the dishes has no gender. Parenting, no gender. I keep reiterating this. Other than breastfeeding, which is based on gender, none of the other tasks have a gender. But when I talk about, okay, let's imagine somebody doing the dishes, let's imagine somebody doing the laundry, let's imagine somebody folding clothes, automatically there's a visual of somebody in our head, right? And the same with, let's imagine a doctor, let's imagine a nurse, let's imagine an astronaut, let's imagine a scientist. Our visual is already gendered, right? So we already have the visual of what that looks like and should feel like, which is why something that is different often comes across as more intense, especially when you have to flip the gender and the role that you're talking about. The issue with the way the society is structured is both men and women suffer because of it, right? The genders suffer because, like you said, if your dad was in a world where the person who decided to choose consciously to stay home and do these things would not be judged by their gender, he would have lived a much happier life in those family environments and gatherings instead of being in a world that constantly judged him for the choices that he made with his partner, right? So we often punish both the genders with the kind of structured normative roles that we assign to them. And the invisible load is something that we should talk about because it tells you the amount of childcare, elder care hours that women spend, if you were to put a number to it. The GDP of that value of just if you were to take India is so high that it oversees a lot of the top countries that are, the global south, basically, right? So when you look at numbers, when you see the fact that women are constantly judged for, if they're homemakers, it's a problem. People will say, oh, she did all that studying and now she chooses to be staying at home. If you're a working mother, that's a problem. Oh, look at her, she's working, she's choosing work over her children. There's no winning with this, right? So there's, apart from the invisible load of what you carry, which is most women end up being the people who hold everything from the mental load of what groceries to buy, what to make, what to cook, even if they have house help, and they're dealing with that plus their jobs. and the childcare elder care piece also falls onto their shoulders, right? Most homes, in-laws and parents are cared for by the women. And it's only logistics. And why is it that logistics, which could be anybody's responsibility, comes on to the woman, and that's perpetuating and it continues even in the world that we live in today. We still see that expectation, right? I think the truly most easiest way of breaking that dynamic is to teach people life skills and not gender skills. And that's the break that we'll start seeing. The Nordic countries have done really well with that because that's, that part of the world has really done well with equality and equity and all of that. And they teach life skills without gender. And that's when you realize that the gender norm is a norm that we have put onto it. And everybody suffers because of that.
Thank you so much. Yes.
I think, unseen labor, when you look at it, you don't really notice it unless it's not there, right? So I was part of this, extended family gathering where now an adult, a child who grew up in front of our eyes, mentioned to her mother who she's seen going through a divorce when she was growing up, the issues that she had to deal with, the rebellious phase that she, put across to her mother when she was a single parent after that. And now as an adult, the sweetest thing that I've ever heard in the last few, days or months actually, was that, she looked at her mom and said, I didn't realize how much I have to appreciate you. To just stand there as a support system, to be there for me. As an adult now, when I see other kids going through that same situation, I feel like, God, my mom did a great job. So these are small things. And I think that bit, when you see this kind of labor, the appreciation that comes is the greatest reward, really, rather, because you can see it eventually. So that's all I want to say. The fact that, that you are looking back and saying that, my dad was a great dad for what he did, for what he chose. That's the beauty of it. And he will for sure feel that everything was worth it.
Fully here.
So there's a 125-year-old poem that says, a man's work is sun to sun, right? S-U-N, sun to sun. But a woman's work is never done. And it's relevant even today. And what is a woman's work? I mean, what do you put into the category of a woman's work, right? Is it because of your body parts? Or what is it? What is it? Because of our emotional empathy that we bring in? So what is a woman's work, right? I'm specifically addressing a woman's emotional labor here because today is International Women's Day and nothing more, not undermining the emotional labor that a man also carries, but specifically addressing a woman's emotional labor here. Because a woman, even as I sit here today, I'm thinking, right? I mean, what time do I have to pick up my daughter from tuitions? So this is something a woman constantly goes through. I mean, we are working our minds the whole darn time. The whole time we're thinking, right? What do we do next? And what is it that I have to look at? Is it my child's birthday party, right? Or is it my parents' health checkup? I'm constantly thinking. I'm not saying the man's not thinking, but we are sitting here. We are always, I'm sure both of you are doing the same at this point. And so what I want to also address is, do we know Virat Kohli? I mean, all of us know Virat Kohli. 99% of the people here. Do we know Smriti Mandhana? How many people know Smriti Mandhana? Maybe around 50-60%, right? How many of us know Jhulan Goswami? 1%. So who is Jhulan Goswami, right? So Jhulan Goswami is a right-arm medium fast bowler. And she has played numerous international cricket tournaments for India. And she has been the highest wicket taker in ODIs. Does anyone know this? I'm not undermining the achievements of Virat Kohli in any way. No, he's a great star, great sportsman. But do you think it would have been a tad easier for Virat to pursue his career? Do you think? I mean, I'm sure we would all agree, right? And do you think it would have been a little more difficult for Julan to balance her, work and personal life, the balance between that? Do you think it would have been a little more difficult? I guess so. So I think that itself proves the point that women, yes, have to go through a little more. So I think a little appreciation, a little support would go a great way.
Thank you. See, I'll be very honest here because when I see this unseen labor, I really don't get this gender perspective because I told you, I have been lucky enough to be raised. And I think I'm privileged. I'm privileged because I do understand that we've all seen that series, no? Sarabhai versus Sarabhai. So you remember, right? मैं मर दूं, right? So and the response is अभी उसका कुछ नहीं कर सकते. So I think that's how the society looks at it. In fact, that reminds me, since you talked about cricket, so my daughter is a fast bowler and she plays cricket and she's very small. She's around 9 years old. That day, she took the wicket of one guy, and I found that guy's father was scolding him. And I said, "What happened?" He said, "एक लड़की से आउट हो गई यार." मैं बोला हाँ तो बोला फिर लड़की से आउट हो गई तो I think I kind of get what you're saying. This was a casual success. While that guy getting bowled by another guy is fine, but how did he get bowled by a girl? That's the major issue. So I understand, but I'll come to you first, Kavya, because it's always easy to target the media, right? So cops and media is our favorite when it comes to putting the blame. So let me start with putting the blame on you, on the media. That
Go ahead.
Part of this, don't you think, is because of the narrative that we build through the media? Like, for instance, one thing which particularly stands out for me, every time I go to buy clothes, toys, anything for my daughter, the shopkeeper brings out a huge assortment of pink. Right? The unwritten rule is that girls have to adopt pink. Right? That's it. And my daughter hates pink. She likes black, she likes blue. And the shopkeeper very proudly says, "Oh, you are a tomboy." Right. So do you think that media has a role to play? And how is that role changing over the time? Because you don't have the only role to play, but then you do have a very powerful role here, right? So what do you see about it?
Speaking of colors, yesterday at our office, we were asked to come in wearing pink. So we all actually did wear pink to humor everybody, and they gave us a plant with flowers and kachori as a treat. But yeah, it is. I don't think it's media specifically. It's a perception that one of my cousin had a baby girl, and in the hospital. It's just this whole perception that we've grown up with, and we were looking along that corridor in the hospital, which one has pink balloons. So for sure that is the room that she is at, and yeah, so it is a narrative that has been ingrained in us for way too many generations. Can you change it? I don't know. I think we're very comfortable with it, but you want to individually change it? Yes, definitely. Go ahead. I mean, I would vote for gold. That's my favorite color right now. So yeah, I mean, I don't think you can blame media specifically for that. But when you're talking about stories of people, that is some place where we do fit in. We pick out. I mean, it should be done a lot more often than is necessary. There are so many people who are working and slogging their asses off. Sorry for the word, but for
It's just a body part. It's okay.
yeah, for no gain other than some satisfaction. Like I've done something, I need to do this. So those are the stories that we need to pick up, and those are the stories that have been picked up and have paved the way for inspiring people. These are the social socially relevant people that you talk about, who have, say, for example, Salu Marada Timaka, who went about, planting trees for nobody told her to. It was just something that she wanted to do for, people around her, and she's recognized now for it. These are the small stories that really, touch your heart for various things for the betterment of people. Yes, definitely, it has to be done a lot more.
Sure. Talking about doing a lot more, I think one of the very important things that Kavya mentioned, Shreya, is that it's about celebrating the good things, right? I mean, we talk too much about the complaining mode that this is not there, that is not there. I think one of the nice things that you are doing is you're bringing to the front, that woman developer in the team who's silently sitting in one corner and doing the coding. While we, the leaders, the directors, the vice presidents, the CEOs are hogging all the limelight, saying that, this is a school tool. Someone made it, that someone doesn't get that recognition, right? So you're doing a great job there. How are people reacting to this initiative? Like when you do this, so what kind of response you're seeing? Are they looking at it as something that they really appreciate, or what's the response?
See, when first I'll address the pink and the blue, right? Originally, blue was meant to be for girls and pink was meant to be for boys. That was the whole idea. And then we should remember that every time something is sold to us, there is somebody that's winning. Insecurity is sold as a constant. The minute you make somebody feel insecure about themselves, you have 15 different products to sell to them. Whether it's their weight, it's their skin color, it's whatever it is, the minute you've created insecurity, and it's very easy to target women. You know why? 85% of consumer decisions in the world are made by women, right? So there's a pink tax that women pay. The same Nivea lip balm that comes in the blue is 80 rupees, but if it comes in pink packaging, it's 160 rupees. So there is a doubling. It's called the pink tax. It's an entire story altogether. And also about the mental headspace. It is proven that married men live longer and single women live longer. This is data from around the world. Okay, so literally a woman is pouring what she has into her family so they can live more, and giving up her personal lives living and the number of breaths. So this is research that goes to prove that there is so much of this labor that happens that's unseen, right? And when you bring people, especially who have not had a voice before or have had a platform before, and you'll see that with Toastmasters, right? The first time that somebody comes on stage and holds a mic to the 50th time they're speaking, they've transformed. There is something about giving people their voice and a platform to advocate for themselves that's transformative. And I think that's why people love AnitaB and Grace Hopper, because they're seen. All humans want is to be seen, heard, and held. If we can do these three things for the people that we come across on a regular basis, just see them, hear them, and hold them in your presence, and you've transformed them. And we're so living in this urban chaos of one foot in front of the other, jobs to do, and all of that, so much going on. For a moment, if you lock eyes with somebody and you hold that gaze, that can be healing. And we don't give enough importance to that. And I think that's what we're trying to do with our community, with our social media, the impact stories that we capture, the speakers that come to Grace Hopper, just to see 7,000, 8,000 women in one place. The energy is so beautiful. I mean, you all were there. There was so much there. Because here are girls with dreams become women with vision. And we're no more in a world where gender should inform us about futures or careers or aspirations. We should inform ourselves about what we choose and without judgment. And to create a safe space without judgment is one of the best gifts you can give the world. And I'm so grateful to be doing the work that we do, because every time I see one of them who comes up and is excited and has these aspirations and is planning their future and career pathing and all of that, you know that they have a space for that to be celebrated. You know, it's not the wedding. I wish we celebrated the girl's first paycheck. I wish we celebrated the first promotion instead of the childbirth and the wedding and the 7 different lehengas and the shit that big fat Indian weddings promote. I just wish we did that more for women. Imagine an entrepreneur having an entrepreneur shower. Bring all the friends together. You're launching a business. Let's go. Let's decide. So much can happen when women show up for women and allies show up for women, and it's happening in small pockets. But if we only change the way we made women dream about their futures and the way they engage with the world, it will be so different. There's research to show that menopause happens for a reason. It says grandmothers are the biggest blessing and wisdom because grandmoms have the job of actually passing on this wisdom. So there is a role that women play all the way to that. And sometimes that's very misaligned because the load is not equally shared. So.
So let's move to a slightly different dimension of it, which is the professional part. I know you talked about the emotional load, which is on a particular agenda. We'll come back to that in some time, but let's shift the narrative a little bit and understand what's happening in the professional space. Like your industry particularly is a very male-dominated industry, right? Because you're going to the sites. Much of this is also because of valid reasons, right? For example, safety, security, this can be an issue. I was just speaking to someone recently. She said that I'm leaving my job because they're asking me to go to the site. She's also an architect. And, I'm not comfortable going to the site so far away. And she's a woman. So how much of this is, what's your reaction? You have been in this field for 20 years. So what have been your experience in this one?
So I absolutely agree, Sourav. It is a very male-dominated industry. But if you see in India, there are a lot of women architects as well. And the interior design, the interior design aspect of it is totally taken over by the women. Totally. I mean, so I'm happy. There is a little division there between architecture and interiors, but of course it seamlessly comes as a whole because you cannot really take away an interiors or an architecture separately from a building. So in India, first of all, architects are not celebrities. Let me tell you that. Not in India, at least. We know very few architects. But you would definitely know a Hafiz contractor, right? I'm sure, at least 50%, yeah. But do you know a Brinda Somaya? Do you know a Chitra Vishwanath, a very local architect? She's a wonderful architect. She uses sustainability, she uses local materials. So yes, in that sense, it is a male-dominated industry, but women are showing like that they can do as well or better. And as architects, we wear many different hats, right? We are a designer, we are a project manager, we are a client's advocate, we are construction advisors. I mean, who better to do all of those than women? I mean, we can multitask like crazy, and we bring that warmth and empathy into this industry that no other man can, right? If you take an interior designer, you're designing a home for a person. And if you are a woman interior designer, the wife, she immediately looks up and her eyes just light up. You know why? Because we will give them exactly what they want. But a male interior designer of course, he can be technical, he can be very good at his work, but that's just a little bit of warmth and empathy that we bring into our profession. I'm sure a male cannot to that level. So I think, yes, right now I am happy to be in a space where I'm appreciated. I do not see that bias, absolutely not. Whether in my corporate associations or as an entrepreneur, I have not faced this bias. And I'm happy to say that we are evolving. This bias may have existed, and maybe there are women facing it currently, but I have been fortunate. I have been fortunate to be associated with the right kind of people They have given me the platforms, they've given me the appreciation, and I think it, it fosters well for the future of architects and interior designers in India.
Thank you so much. Yes, Kavya.
I just want to add to this male-dominated industry. But I mean, everything, everywhere that we see is actually seen like that. I mean, it's always been a little bit extra struggle. Though I have to say that I'm very, very fortunate. I'm in a very safe space because I handle entertainment and lifestyle. And if you look at journalists and editors across the country in different media houses, most of the women are the ones who take up these kind of positions because it comes to you naturally. It's easier work hours. It's not as hectic as the main political news, crime news kind of coverage. But while having said that, in Times of India today, the entertainment section is handled by me, of course. The main TOI is handled by a woman, Asha Rai. Main Economic Times is handled by a woman, Archana. So I feel I'm in like a very, very privileged space right now where so many women are the leaders. It may not have been the case before, but the narrative is definitely changing.
So I think one very important thing is all the women that you mentioned. I feel that they are there in that position because they deserve it, right? They're not there in that position because they're a woman.
Nobody has, it's not a gender specific decision anymore at all.
And that's where I think those fake diversity targets, I absolutely used to hate it. In my team, all throughout my corporate career, I had almost 50 to 80% of my team members were women. And we had, but in other teams, they would be like, Sourav, ek tip de do yaar, kaise, how can I hire more women? I said, aise nahi hota hai. You have to look for the right person. If that person ends up being a woman, so be it. Right? If you're targeting to hire a woman, I mean, that again impacts. And that's where I feel that you do substandard hiring. Because you want to meet your diversity goals, so you end up messing the whole thing up. Probably the approach should be that I'm not going to close my eyes to someone just because that person, is a woman or a man, right? The most deserving. But we'll go to that gender perspective again a little later. We'll come back to that. But before that, I want to ask one question to you: is that journalism per se is unseen labor, right? There's so much work that you guys do, so much, and you said, I don't know who amongst you said that we miss unseen labor when it's not there. I think you said it, right? But I think yours is even more than that. We only remember you when we have to bash you.
Exactly.
So how does that feel? How motivated are you to go to work that today someone is going to bash me?
I don't look at it in a negative way, but definitely see, the thing is, if there is a mistake in the paper, that is the day we get many mails and letters and calls saying, oh, you guys have done this. Okay, so that is where the unseen labor becomes seen, because the desk is who's handling all of this. The reporter still gets his or her due. He is there, she is out there on the field, they're meeting people. When you look at somebody who will want to connect to someone in the organization, they'll know them by name. So the credit is there. There is a byline. But who is sitting out there and correcting that work, fact-checking, correcting, putting the story in flow, making sure the pictures are the right, portrayed well, and ensuring that the reporter's work looks great. It's the desk. And does the person have any credit apart from their salary? Not really. I mean, then you end up saying, that's what you get paid for. But the work that goes in over there, that is unseen labor. It is only seen when there is a mistake. And that, unfortunately, I'm also to blame. I pull up people only when there's a mistake.
It goes with us also. Yeah. I mean, when there's a mistake, it's you. When there's no mistake, it's not you.
So yes, there is definitely a lot of unseen labor.
So blame has no gender.
No, definitely not.
Okay, so I'll come to you, SHREYA, and this is one fantastic line I've heard from one of the world champions in Toastmasters is that it took me 22 years to become an overnight success. Right, so much of the work that you do, right? There are years and years of. I've seen your LinkedIn bio. it's damn impressive. And you have done a lot of things. So people don't value that labor which has gone in. They only, probably today you're introduced you as the MD of AnitaB or but you would probably put so much of value on the things that has gone. So some of those, or at least one of those things that you're very proud of doing in terms of unseen labor, which today you want to be seen.
I'm a dancer also. I have trained in over 37 forms of Latin and ballroom. I used to run a dance studio before my daughter was born. And I've been doing Kathak for 9 years, belly dancing for 9 years. Dance has been a very imperative part of my life. And in December of 2023, I injured my ankle and I have not danced from then. It's been a long road to recovery. I think the unseen becomes more important when you don't have access to it. I have not been able to dance for the last year and a half. And it has really, I know how much I value it because I've not had it for the last so many months. I can get back actually, literally tomorrow morning is my first dance class after a year and a half. And I'm back on
All the best.
I'm back on the dance floor. And I'm just so looking forward to it because I think I don't see it as an achievement. I think I see it as a fulfillment. I think my poetry fulfills me, my dance fulfills me. I think I find ways to engage with the world in a way that I make more meaning of it. It has to be meaningful. And I think that's what I enjoy about my engagement with the world, that anything that excites me, I'm going to do it. I wake up saying, this is exciting, let me do it. Let me try and make it. So I think my outlook towards finding joy in the things I do is what I'm most fulfilled by.
Thank you. So this question again for all of you is the last question, common question for all of you. After this, we'll take questions from the audience members. We talked about the profession, we talked about the gender, we talked about various aspects, right? All of you brought your perspective. If there's one thing that you would particularly want to spotlight from an unseen labor's perspective, what would that be? Is it still going to be the gender perspective, the emotional capital, or whatever you have heard today? Is there any change in the way you're looking at it? One thing that stands out for you for unseen labor?
So for me, again, I'll start with my profession. The one unseen labor is the labor, the construction workers. And they are the unsung heroes, right? I mean, you felicitate the architects, the developers, the project management, the engineers, who even appreciates the labor. I mean, we need to humanize it. That is my take on it. We need to humanize it. We need to show a little more appreciation, a little more gratitude. So just a small incident in one of my project sites, there was this security guard, right? So he's the first person I would meet when I enter the project site. And every day, every time I go to the site, only a small thing that I would do. I would just say, good morning, how are you today? That's it. And I would see this big smile on his face, right? I mean, you could feel that. I mean, I don't think anybody would have even looked at him, right? And you know what? I have finished that project. I've come out of that site. He has got in touch with me. He sends me a good morning message without fail every morning. So I think this is something I really feel that these are the unsung heroes. We need to appreciate them. Maybe, just a small cake cutting ceremony. You can just invite them over, right? Or a ribbon cutting ceremony, something like that. Or you provide access for trainings and workshops. We do not do that. We do not, give trainings, access to trainings and workshops to the labor. I mean, let them also feel that, yes, I have an advancement in my career, right? So this is one thing I feel they are the unsung heroes in my profession. And I think everybody needs to, all builders, all developers, all architects, come together to give them a little more appreciation, a little platform. We have now so many platforms available. If we can do that a little more, I think that's one thing really.
So the unsung heroes, here's what she's talking about. Kavya, what would be your one thing?
Okay, let me take this to another thing. Yes, definitely, we have to more than necessarily thank people who are doing these little things for you. But I'd like to bring up a hero in this case, a film hero, Puneet Rajkumar, the late Puneet Rajkumar. He was an actor. He was, did his job. He did his job pretty well. There were so many fans and family was there and everything is like great. But after he passed away, have you seen the number of people who continue to hold him in high regard? He has become a bigger hero after he's passed away. This is because of the many thousands of little things that he has done by touching people's lives. That is unseen, not what he's seen on screen or not how he is in the media. That is unseen. The stories that are coming out now of people, oh, I was going through this and he did this for me. Not just financially, just being there, definitely financially also, because the number of stories that have been coming out are like, so inspiring. So I think these are things that really touch your heart. They inspire, they want you to be that better human being as well, in whatever little way that you can. And definitely thank everybody who has touched your life that way. Give them some credit.
Touching lives and without appreciation.
Yes.
Right. So, what's yours?
I think for me, and it leans into both the stories that you shared, it's the attitude of gratitude, right? So every time I have a plate of food in front of me, I thank the people who grew the food, the ones that cooked it, the ones that made it possible for it to come to my plate. The saris that I wear, I thank the weavers that, wove it for me. There's so much in our everyday lives that come to us, which is so unseen, because it's come, maybe we bought it, but that was just money. The process, the art, the work, like for instance, my home, Marie Kondo talks about this, right? And it's energetic. The minute it sparks joy in you, when you say thank you, wholeheartedly and intentionally, you're naturally building your own way of accessing that. Like in a hot summer's day, if you have a Swiggy delivery guy that comes home, you should see the shock on their faces. We ask them, do you want water? Is there something I can give you? Because they're so not used to kindness. So I think the superpower of kindness, because the minute you're kind, you will see it. It doesn't become unseen then. You will see the effort. Like today, this space, to have all of you here, to listen to us, to be able to share this story. Gratitude for that. For somebody to have taken out time on a Saturday morning, for us to be sitting here on Women's Day, to have this conversation is privilege of infinite kinds. And if we can be grateful to the access that we have every day, I think it becomes nicer for the people around us and for ourselves. So the attitude of gratitude.
Thank you so much. So we'll take some questions. So we'll take a couple of questions from the people in the room and then people online. So anyone in the room who has the first question or online?
Just I wanted to ask that you were asked to wear pink in the office. Were the only women asked to pink, or men also were asked to wear pink?
That's again a perception. Most of the women turned up in pink, but there were very few men who actually did turn up in pink. There was no gender, addressed over there. They just said, tomorrow we are celebrating Women's Day, wear pink.
So I'll tell you the real issue. Most men don't have a pink in the wardrobe.
They somehow managed. Some of them actually didn't manage.
So I used to wear a red, and I used to have debates that no, this is pink. And then there is one more problem. For us, there is only one color, pink. For you, there is pitch. There is bubblegum pink. Then different 1,000 varieties of pink. For us, this is peach is a fruit. For you, peach is a color, right? So that's another issue.
So is orange, but
men look very good in pink.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's another thing. I mean, how is the color associated with the gender? Why is pink a woman's color? I mean, we did address this earlier, but again, the perception that men should not buy pink and they should not wear pink. Yeah.
Okay.
So my husband, he loves all the colors. And I always tell him he's got a lovely pink shirt and he looks amazing in it. I'm sure most men would if they tried it on.
Okay, anyone online? Okay. I will see if any online question is there, Nancy, once, and then we'll come to you.
I do have a question, Sourav sir.
Yes, Deepa, please go ahead.
My question is to the panelists. If at all you're married, how do you see equality at home, not at workplace, but at home, when you're a married person and you enter into a brand new house with new family members? How do you see equality, and how, is it really happening with you? And if it doesn't happen, what do you do?
Okay. So all is a question from married woman. I don't know who of it.
I said I'm a divorced woman, but I can go. No, I think it's not equal, unfortunately, because we should understand that women, especially older women, resource in the power of patriarchy. If you notice, patriarchy is something that women sort of govern in a lot of houses. I'll give you examples, right? Who decides or who's upset when the child that is born is a girl and not a boy? Invariably, it's the mother or the mother-in-law. Who decides to keep the chicken pieces or the eggs for the boys and the gravy is given to the girls? The choices of patriarchy are often made by women who are resourcing in the power that patriarchy lends to them because by themselves they don't have a voice, right? So you saw the movie Mrs. come out and it broke into so many conversations. The original is Great Indian Kitchen and it addressed this deep unseen labor that happens. And the almost, categoric dismissal of it. And the movie sparked a lot of things where women were saying, please, are you telling me she can't cook for two people? But look at that, right? Look at that voice. That voice is coming from a space of years of conditioning. All of us have that conditioning in our minds about who should do something. Driving equity is often first starting with ourselves. Are we being equitable? I keep saying this, equality is going to take time to get there. And I'm not expecting as a feminist chivalry at all. I will appreciate chivalry, but I'm not expecting it. But that is further ahead and down the road. The first job is to start understanding equity and then drawing those boundaries and saying, this is how we need to plan. This is how, like, I love couples who have these weekly meetings where they plan their work and their groceries and their, so it's very equal division of labor. And it's based on capacity and capability, not gender. Like if I like to do something, I should be the person handling it because invariably I'll do it better, right? So can we look at labor and division of labor minus gender? And that is a practice. And often a lot of homes are not open to it because they'll think you're really cuckoo if you suggested that. Imagine going into a newly married home and if you have in-laws and say, okay, let's have a weekly meeting on who does what, right? You see, we know what's going to come out, but it's such a powerful tool to sort of apply and say, okay, let's all look at all the roles that we play and can we manage better? Finances, all of it, right? All of it comes into play. So the labor then becomes equally divided versus it being very gendered.
Today, this morning, I got this Women's Day wish that said to all the women who make houses homes.
Pressure.
It is definitely a pressure. When I first got married, my husband and I stayed separately. It was, we decided we needed our space and stuff. So we did split work. I did the cooking sometimes, and then that didn't really turn out well. So he would make fun of my cooking. So I said, okay, I'll do the cleaning, you do the cooking, all that, But I think, again, when you mentioned Mrs. and the Great Indian Kitchen also, I'm cutting to now and compared to what you see on screen, which is a reality as well. Because one of my friend, also a working woman, also who has had 2 kids who are now grown up. I have a daughter who's grown up. We've seen the whole rigmarole of, bringing up children, working at the same time, all this multitasking, managing, fighting, coming to a conclusion. There have been many at home. So I think one is about communication. But the point is that when I was watching this movie with my friend, there were so many things that we actually didn't relate to. It is a reality. Yes, there are people who get married, and the privilege again that we have is that we have not gone through that. And we find it difficult to actually say that, oh my God, this actually does happen. Yes, we know it happens, but thank God, we are not there. And I feel very, very blessed. Speaking of blessings again, I'm very, very blessed to be, in this situation, in this family, in this, workspace where there is no bias in terms of gender. There is no issue that way. I mean, I'm not saying there are no issues, but the bigger issues, which are more real, in your face, those are not what I'm facing, at least now, and I feel really, really blessed.
Yes, SHREYA.
Okay, I've been brought up in a home where there was a lot of equality. So I'm very blessed. My parents did not show any bias either towards my brother or to me. So we were allowed to go out, right? But we were supposed to be back at home by 6 p.m. Both of us, not just me or my brother, both of us. And of course, both of us did not cook. Both of us did not clean. We were very... Of course, we did the smaller jobs, but my mom never said, because you're a girl, you have to do this. So, I was conditioned in a way to think that equality just exists, right? And I never even thought that there are, and my friends, I think we would all speak the same language. We were all privileged enough to go through the same things. There may be some cases where, some of my friends would have gone through it, but we never spoke about it. So I was very privileged in that sense. And so I was conditioned into thinking that, oh, this is equality. I mean, where is inequality? I don't see it. And then I got married, and I was lucky that, my husband also believed in similar things. So something I really haven't felt, I have seen other women go through, and that's when it hit me. After my friends got married, they've gone through a lot of things with their in-laws or with their husbands, not supporting them, not in the career or not even in the basic small things. And that's when it hit me. Oh my God, there's something like this out there. I mean, we need to do something about it, because till then it didn't hit me at all. So in that way, yes, I've been blessed, and I relate totally to Kavya in this. So yeah.
Thank you. Nancy, we'll take your question, but you have to tell me which of the panelists you want them to answer. Kavya, okay.
Okay, my question is for Kavya Christopher, because you are from media industry, and specifically, I want to talk about women objectification. This is the only industry, not the only industry, because even when it comes to public speaking and all, people say that, okay, women will take MC role because they look good, right? Similarly, in the media industry, they say that, okay, she would be the face of it because she has got a pretty face. So how do you ensure that there's a balance? There's no objectification, or you're having men and women both, or someone who deserves to be there, not just a pretty face, but who deserves to be there as a face of the product or the ad or the anything that you are putting up there?
Objectification, that's a whole new topic. Yes. But from my personal experience, I would just say that, we have a face of the product. If you look at it, I mean, my boss is a man. He handles all of us. Some of us are women, some of us are men in different centers as well. I don't think there is a gender bias again over here. Again, I'm privileged. It is a time and space, and where these things are not an issue for some of us.
Yeah.
and there are many people who do go through all this. And those are stories that we do talk about because that's where you bring in that change. For instance, films. There is a lot of objectification. Now, apart from the screen, let's not go to screen because that's again too much. Let me just give you one example of, again, an actress, Ramya. Most of us will know of her. She has not been acting really as of now. She's been there, done that, and maybe coming back on screen is into production. But the reason why people still look up to her is not just because she was a pretty face on screen. It is about the changes she brought about. There was a time when she started where, you would have a caravan for the hero. The woman will have to like figure out in her car or somewhere else, or, rest over there. She insisted, where is my caravan? This is that time. Today, you will not see a set without a caravan for a heroine or any of the other lead actresses as well. But you will still see women who are behind the scenes, like your costume designer, like your makeup artist, like your, somebody who is working around the set, who will not have a caravan, is not treated as a person who will need that privacy on an outdoor shoot, for instance. If it is a house or a building or something, it's still manageable, like how most men also manage. But that is where we need to bring in narratives and bring in the change, and that is where she has brought in that change, and that's why we speak about her that much. And that's why even the younger actresses still look up to her. Fans look up to her. The film industry itself, yes, there have been issues like, oh, don't, let's avoid her because she will create problems. She will make demands. That's not bad. And you're seeing that. You're seeing that, the difference is seen. So I think, I hope I've answered your question. It is an uphill battle in various phases, work spaces. Just that I am not facing that.
So we will, it's time to wrap up the panel discussion because we have got an exciting keynote speech coming up. So I want us to reflect what we just did in the last 45 minutes. So we talked about all those people that we generally don't talk about. We talked about the labor at the architecture site. We talked about the costume designer at the set. We talked about the women coders who are often not recognized. In fact, there was a movement called Girls Who Code when I was working in the corporate, I think almost 10 years back, it was there. It gained a lot of momentum and I found that really funny. I mean, what's to be called out about a girl coding? I mean, it's coding, right? So it's a man or a woman, how does it make a difference? Part of that, as I said, is because of my upbringing, my culture, the privilege. I come from East India, Calcutta, and Calcutta, if you know, Bengal is a very matriarchal society. I think more matriarchal than the rest of many parts of the country, I would not say the entire rest of the country. That is where, we, even for that matter, they would also probably not relate with many of these things, because until we stepped out and we saw the world around and we saw people, we actually did not believe it exists. That in my house, there were always 2 pieces of fish, equal in size, width, weight, height, everything. One for me, one for my sister. If for some reason there was one, it went to my sister. I was explained why she needs to have it. Right, that's all I got. So yeah, so consolation prize for me. That's how we have been raised, and I'm proud of it. The problem is that just because we don't see it, we feel that it does not exist, and that's where the problem starts. Where is inequality around women? It's not there in your way, it's not there in your office, it's not there in your friends group, but it does not mean it's not there in a village in Rajasthan as we speak. So I think that is something that we need to take back. If there's one thing that it's unseen, does not mean it's not there. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attendance. Over to you.
Thank you. I think it was a discussion that was very much needed and so much that I personally related to. I think I don't want to be gender biased, but I think most women do relate to what was just discussed. A man's duty, son to son. A woman's duty is never done. It is so true. A button of the washing machine is not a gender biased role that we play. So married men live longer and single women live longer. That decision I've made very sensibly. So I am definitely going to live longer. I think when evolution of mankind happened, it was just the man who was evolving because he was the one gaining on the experience and exposure. Now, when the talk of evolution of womankind has started is when things are getting rocky, and mutualism is what we should aim at. Why should a person, a human being, not be allowed to work because that is what they want? And why should a human being not be allowed to not work because that is what they want? And maybe just pursue a passion which might not be economically feasible, but that's just what they want. Why can't this be without any gender bias? Having said that, there is one more area of unseen labor, and that is our police forces, the army forces, the frontline workers. And I don't think anyone appreciates them. They're just taken for granted, but there's so much that they do. We are comfortably sitting in our homes. The thought also doesn't cross our minds of safety or anything of that sort, but it's because our forces are present here. And that's who our next keynote speaker is. And that is who our keynote speaker is. It is Mr. DEVAJYOTI ROY, who is currently serving as the Additional Director General of the Karnataka Police Force. But there's something very interesting about him. He's not just a celebrated police personnel, but he's also a celebrated painter. Can you move on to the next slide, please? So he has 25 plus years of experience in the Indian Police Service, Karnataka cadre officer, Jawaharlal Nehru University alumnus, and he is a postgraduate in economics. He is heading housing, grievances, and human rights departments in Karnataka as the Additional Director General. Previously served in various executive positions in Civil Aviation Security, Anti-Narcotic Cell, Inspector General of Police, Western Range. Sir, it's just a bit too much. It's just a bit too much to pronounce all of that. He's also a celebrated painter, a founder of pseudo-realism, a unique art movement that blends abstraction with reality. Now, I frankly Googled that term, pseudo-realism. Sounds really, really fancy. And I'm just going to take a small jig at you. It's like cat with eyebrows or a lizard without a limb. I'm just joking. It's paintings that have a surprise value to them, but they are infused with a lot of color. And we're going to get to see some of Sir's work, and that is when you'll understand what I'm saying. It depicts everyday life and socio-political themes through bold colors, geometric forms, and layered compositions, creating a dreamlike yet relatable visual experience. His paintings are exhibited in prestigious galleries and museums worldwide, earning him recognition as a pioneering figure in modern Indian art. Can we have a huge round of applause from DEVAJYOTI ROY? Small video that we would like you to have a look at, please. Is it audible for the online audience? Can you ask?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Karthik, you just show the Zoom.
Yes.
It's still not showing up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is what studio journalism was all about. Can we please have a huge round of applause for Mr. DBT today?
Thank you, Gauri, for giving this flattering introduction to me. But you have missed one point, which I think I should say. That in this long 25 years journey in the field of art, there had been two toastmasters also involved. One is Nancy Goel and another is Sourav Dutta. And they had last year organized a beautiful event of my of my paintings. This is one of the finest exhibitions that I had in the past 25 years. Their planning is meticulous. Their presentation is very precise. They almost present the exhibition like a piece of artwork. So I would like to have all of you to have a round of applause for him and Sourav Dutta and Nancy Goel. You were talking about unseen labor. This is unseen labor. They work behind the screen and they give flattering introductions to me. And thank you so much. And thank you also. I was listening to, I was listening to this beautiful panel discussion. But before that, thank you, Gabbys Toastmasters Club, for organizing this beautiful event once again on a very important issue. Why am I saying once again is because last year also you had invited me for another panel discussion where I was also there, which you had organized on the because of the Archika rape case. And at that time, I recall I had asked you a question, whether this is going to be a one-off event, whether you are going to have one panel discussion, because everybody is doing a panel discussion now and this is a sensational issue, or you would like to continue. And I had suggested that you should actually do more such events because this culture, this toxic masculinity that is there in our culture, this cannot go by just one panel discussion which you do when a sensational incident happens. But it is something that you should continue to do. As the head of the State Human Rights Commission's investigation wing, we organize many such awareness programs all over the state. And we want NGOs and other voluntary organizations and this kind of clubs to also join hands with us and organize more such events. So it is really good that you are organizing this event again. I wish that you continue to do this. And for that, thanks from the bottom of my heart and congratulations. Now, this was a very beautiful panel discussion. Very, very beautiful. Three very lovely ladies, three Bangalore's most successful women who are whose labor is never unseen, whose work is always noticed. People who are probably at the center of attention in whatever they are doing. And such successful women taking their time out on a Saturday morning to come and talk on an issue which probably does not afflict them much, but affects millions of other women who are not that fortunate. That is very interesting. And that is what we all have to do. Empathy. Empathy for people who are not as privileged as us, people who are not as fortunate as us, people who do not have the access to platforms like this, where they can talk about their own problems. So it was a beautiful panel discussion, very insightful. And I learned a lot. And I would have rather wanted it to continue for some more time. But anyway, it has to conclude sometime. And imagine I have been given the task to conclude after this beautiful panel discussion. I will try. But before that, I would like to make a comment. You see, unseen labor as such is probably not a bad thing. SHREYA has already said that she likes to dance, and millions of hours she has put in dancing, and we would like to see your dancing someday. And so unseen labor is not as such a bad thing. All of our Toastmasters, this Gabbys new club, Toastmasters, Gabbys Toastmasters Club, how old is it? 4 years. But there are many Toastmasters who are probably doing this public speaking for a longer period of time. 15 years, 16 years. I know some of them who are speaking for 15 years. Somebody, Sourav had said that one Toastmaster had practiced for 22 years to finally become a master speaker. Now, why are you doing this public speaking, and how much of public speaking you actually do? Probably in a year, you get to speak once or twice in a year, or 3-4 times in a year. But for that, 22 years of practice, that is all unseen labor. I have been exhibiting my paintings in many places. Only 10% of what I produce in the studios goes into the exhibition halls. Only 10% of what I paint finally goes to the exhibitions. 90% is unseen. But do I mind? I don't mind. Because unseen though it is something that I've chosen for myself. I have a very hectic job, but still I paint. Because I like it. Unseen labor is not something that we don't like to do. It is something that we like to do. I know many women who are very successful careerists. They were in very good high-paying jobs, and then all of a sudden they quit. Why? To take care of their babies. Why would they quit? To take care of their babies. Raising a child is not easy. It is a very strenuous, very stressful, very messy kind of a job, which involves many months of sleepless nights. But yet, you ask these women whether they would like to hand over this job to someone else. They will never do that. They all want to do that work. So unseen labor though it is something we choose. So there is the problem with unseen labor. Then what is the problem of unseen labor? We have had a beautiful panel discussion. I'd like to ask some of the Toastmasters. So what is it about unseen labor that we complain? Why do we complain about unseen labor if it is such a nice thing? No answers? Okay, I think the main reason why we complain about unseen labor is when we are forced to do it. When we are forced to do some kind of work which we are not willing to do, then the problem comes. A woman doing domestic chores, she will never complain about it. She will not complain because if it is her own home, if she is taking care of her own family, she will not complain about it. But when the circumstances are such, I mean, she wanted to do something else, but the circumstances made her become a housewife, which she didn't want to do initially. And now she is being forced to do endless rounds of domestic chores at the command of some other people. That is the problem. So the problem of unseen labor is actually the problem of lack of choice, lack of alternatives. If we have sufficient alternatives, there is no unseen labor. We don't complain about unseen labor. So lack of alternatives is our main problem. And this problem afflicts not just women, it afflicts men also. Like you see young men who probably want to become an actor, and he is forced into engineering college. Someone who wants to become a writer, parents will say, no, first do MBA. And I was just seeing another movie, I don't recall the name of the movie. There was a young girl who wanted to become a pilot, but she comes from a lower middle class family. She cannot afford to get a pilot training, which is very expensive. So finally, in the end of the film, she becomes an air hostess. it is not exactly what she wanted to be. So she also does not have an alternative. And these alternatives are not available because of our socio-economic circumstances. So the lack of alternative is an issue. And this issue is not something new to human society. If you go 200, 300 years back, we had slavery. The European and the American civilizations are actually built on the back of human slaves. People who were kidnapped from some Africa and transported to some far-off place, and then made to do such work which they never wanted to do. In India also, in the British era, there were millions of people sent to Caribbean islands as indentured labor. How many hours they worked, how long they lived, when they died, we don't know. Everything remained unseen, everything lost from human records. So you see, we have come now to a world which is much better than what it used to be 200, 300 years back. At least today we have given ourselves a representative democratic system. We have given ourselves a welfare state. We have given ourselves a constitution which at least gives you notional political equality. May not be real political equality, but at least notional political equality. We have come a long way, but yet, of course, we have to go a long way more. What can we do in the meanwhile? So, as I told in the beginning, what we have to do is to create a culture of empathy, and which all the panelists have spoken also about the same thing, that we have to have a culture of empathy. We have at present a culture of expectation that women should do all the domestic chores. Women should take care of the parents, women should take care of the kids. But this has a corollary too. Like we also expect that men should go out, they should not stay at home and should earn a living. This is also there, that expectation is also there. And this expectation is made not just by men, but women also. So men and women are both equally responsible for this toxic culture that we have, and it has to change. And we have to bring in slowly a culture of empathy. A culture which does not give importance to only such kind of work which which has a monetary value. So, for example, a painting in today's culture, a painting is valued only when it can be sold, right? A sports is valuable only when it brings you a lot of money. That's why most of our other kind of sports activities are suffering. Because people don't want to go there, there is no money there. And a man is valued only when he earns a lot of money. You are all women here. How many of you would be liking to have a house husband who doesn't work, stays at home and does all the domestic chores? You are not comfortable with that. None of you will be. So we have to change this culture, and that takes time. It is said that fashion changes every year. In a democracy, politics changes every 5 years. Economics changes in 10 years. But culture, that damn thing doesn't change quickly. But we have to make an effort. Gabbys Toastmaster Club is taking the first step in organizing these events. And I hope that you continue to do such events. And seeing you, maybe most other Toastmasters clubs will also organize these events. And together we can bring some change in the culture. Thank you for inviting me and allowing me to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we have a big round of applause for Mr. Ray? Thank you, sir. So the key takeaway, of course, empathy to deal with the toxicity of gender roles, women and men. Now, before I close my session and hand over to the PO, what is that one thing that we can do immediately? The one thing that we can do immediately is to make sure that we leave this room in a way that is easy for the people who are going to clean up after us. So that is one thing we can do for the unseen labor who's going to take care of this room after we leave. I now request our presiding officer, distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel to come up on stage.
Thank you so much. Can we have a huge round of applause for our Toastmaster of the day for handling the stage for the entire time, for 2 hours, tirelessly coming up on stage, introducing everyone, ensuring that everyone's introduction is read right. no matter she has to run back and forth. Despite that, she did a phenomenal job there. Thank you so much, Gauri. Well, while I'm taking the moment to thank Gauri, I would also like to thank our panelists, starting with SHIV Priya. The moment I gave her a call, she was already in a meeting since morning, in a business meeting. From there, she's running all the way from a different place to here to ensure that she's here for the panel discussion, sharing her thoughts with us. Thank you so much, SHIV Priya, for being here. Yes. Thank you so much, Kavya. Kavya, we reached out very late. Despite that, she made out time for this event, ensuring that she's here on time. She's here with us, sharing her thoughts with us. I remember 10 minutes before the meeting, she gave me a call, Nancy, I'm downstairs. Where do I need to come? So that's her accountability, her presence here, that she wanted to be here even when the audience was not there. So thank you so much, Kavya. And I would also like to thank SHREYA. SHREYA is the first one I reached out to almost a month back. I think with you only, we started this conversation. She blocked her calendar. She was telling me, Nancy, my calendar is getting blocked by the minute. Please tell me, is this on or not? So that's how accountable she was, ensuring that she wants to be here with us. We come a long way. We have come a long way. We know each other from Grace Oper, even prior to that, from the exhibition that we talked about. So thank you so much, SHREYA, for making out time for this and sharing your 2 bits. And thank you so much, Dev sir. That was unexpected recognition that I got here. So thank you so much for recognizing us yet again for the event that we did. That's our profession, but thank you so much for the recognition. But at the same time, for being here, I could see that you're not able to walk properly. Despite your busy schedule and bad health, you are here ensuring that we are listening to you. Thank you for your kind words. So thanks to our panelists and our chief guest for being here. While we are talking about the unseen labor, I would also like to thank each and every person who was working tirelessly behind the scenes, ensuring that we all come here, from 91 Springboard booking to calling our speakers to ensuring the audience is there. I would want them to be on stage with me so that you all can see our unseen labor, our ExCom officers, our group of people who ensured that everything goes smooth and properly. We had yet another smooth event. We are winding up on time, just 5 minutes behind time. And I would like to first start with Samita, who's coming all the way from Wardha, Maharashtra. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Samita. Please come up on stage. Okay, Samita has handled the entire event as a project for herself, putting together the team. And her team, do you want to call out your team? Okay. 5 minutes. All right. Her team includes Distinguished Toastmaster Sourav Dutta, Idhar hi tha, but still be here. Okay, he's the one who ensures that everything is in place with respect to the speakers. We have Toastmaster Karthik Venugopal behind the screen, ensuring everything is happening right on Zoom. All the tech glitches that you saw, I know we all can look at the mistakes, but despite that, a smooth meeting, it's him. Can we also have a round of applause for Gauri Aggarwal? Thank you so much, Gauri, for handling the stage for the entire time. We have Sanjana. Sanjana, where are you? Toastmaster Sanjana Jaypee. Come this side, no? This is lonely here. So Sanjana has been the timer who was giving us all the cue cards when it's green, yellow, and red. When do you need to stop so that we stay on time? So please put your hands together for this team who ensured that this event goes smoothly. Along with this team, we had some people online sitting there. Toastmaster Sunil Gupta, Toastmaster Smruti Mohanty, Toastmaster Yogita, and Toastmaster Jasprit Kaur, Renu Kaushal. आपके Yes, that's all. So, yes, Toastmaster Mohan. Oh, how could I miss you? Come here. You have dressed up for the occasion today. Thank you so much, Mohan. Yes, that's the team for you guys. This is the unseen labor, our executive committee putting all their hard work to ensure these events keep on happening. These events are all free of cost. We don't get paid for it. We have our own profession. We all have our work, but we do these events. We conduct these events to bring awareness, to learn from all the speakers who come up on stage, to learn from each other and to ensure that everyone who's making out time on a Saturday morning is learning from everything which is going here. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for helping us. Thanks to the team. With this, I conclude this meeting number 219 of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. Please stay back for chai samosa or something. Yes, thank you. Thank you once again.
They don't know where is Varta. Ask any one of them.
Maharashtra, I said.
They'll be wonderful.
You're looking lovely, lovely.
Good to see you. Your Bangalore traffic didn't allow me to come.
That's okay. You still took the stage. I'm glad.
Where is Samita sitting?